right, let's see here. Welcome back, everybody. We are live, checking in with each of the streaming platforms right now, and waiting for everything to get online here. Not sure what's going on. See, we've got. I have to start this over. There's nothing's connecting up. All right, there we go. We're up on YouTube. For some reason, we've got nothing going here on Facebook. If I refresh the page, it'll wake it up. All right, we've got Facebook online now. We're live. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, YouTube. Kick. Where is my Kick stream? Welcome, Kick. And welcome to the stream Twitch. Everybody is here. Let's get started. This is the Sam Crescent Art Show featuring me, Sam Crescent, working on my comic book strength monsters every single day. Let's start getting into it. We're going to warm up first. And I've been working through Bridgman's book on the Book of 100 Hands. And I'm scrolling through the book and looking at it. We're still studying the dorsal side of the hand. And there's some great stuff with the veins here. And that's subject matter I have not studied. But I'm going to start out with looking at some basic schematics of the veins. And not that one first. That's pretty complex. Let's look at the more simple schematic. I'm going to do that first. So here, this is a really simple schematic of the veins of the hand, the major veins. These are important to know because there's a lot of visual anatomy. The veins, you can see them, and when you're drawing, you want to show tension, the fist or the hand, you can make all those veins pop out, and you make it look really cool. So, to get this party started, I always draw the hand kind of as a paddle. Is the basic primitive shape that I like to, my go-to, and that's what we have here. And now we've got a thumb. And we have some fingers. All right, let's get into it. And I'm just going to start drawing this hand. That's the, right in here, we've got the dorsal interosseous muscle here, this pad. And in this schematic, you can see that there's he's drawing the bones here. So we can see some bones. The metacarpals. So let's get those in there. And get this drawing going. So today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. We're in the midpoint of the, this is a little longer, midpoint of the week. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. We're back on schedule again. I've been up since 5 a.m. Started the stream a little bit later, 6:43 right now. I had a few things I had to do this morning, plus I did some circles and basic kind of more boring perspective exercises that I did not stream because I don't think people really want to watch that stuff. It's pretty monotonous, repetitious, repetitive, and unfortunately that is most of skill building, which I don't mind it. I enjoy the repetitive discipline, the constant study and learning. It does not bother me. But when it comes to building a program that is going to be entertaining for people, that kind of stuff is maybe not too exciting to watch and not too interesting. So I kind of do that off camera now on my own as part of my warm-up, and then we get things going on the video, and today doing abridgment studies, but I want to do some of these anatomical drawings, schematic drawings of the veins of the hand, and start committing them to memory, because it's an area that I actually have not really studied. I've we've gone through the dorsal interosseous muscle, and that's a good one for the tendons on the hands, but as far, that goes way too far because you got the metacarpals in there. But when it comes to the vascular component of the hand, I never thought of it. And then when I saw that Bridgman did one page on it, I thought, oh, that's a missing component there in my anatomical knowledge of the hand and my what I am able to do from memory. So let's rectify this and get that down. So what we have in here is the bones of the hand here. Radius on this side. And the ulna is on this side. All right, let's switch to this blue color. And we're going to draw in the veins. So we have this cephalic vein here. And let's get this in. Comes up here. And branches. And we've got the basilic vein on the ulnar side. Coming up here. And these two meet up right there. I'm a little bit high. Let's fix that. Well, I'm okay. It's a little bit lower actually, so we'll fix it all the way. I think it goes more here. Right through the dorsal interosseous muscle. Through here, it comes down. This one's coming over in between here. Up, bifurcates one branch going down each finger. Now we have kind of a structure of a house there. Now we've got a branch coming off into the thumb. And then this branch comes to the thumb and up the side of that finger. And it's kind of easy to remember if we just remember that there's going to be one vein on each side of each finger. So we know that. So now the question is just remembering how they all come together. So this one comes in here. This one comes in. This one comes over here. That comes in. And we've got a loop here. A loop there. That's basically what got to memorize. Now this is like a little lower. But I'm not going to worry about all that too much. The main pattern that I want to get down is that goes up, bifurcates. We know that we have a thumb here, thumb, finger, and then we know that each finger has one on each side. And then where do they all go? Not there. There's a branch there, there, there. Pinky. Anyway, I'm confused now because I can't see what's what. This is the pinky. What is this? Index finger. Index finger. Middle finger. I messed these up. Let's just draw this thing again. I'm just gonna draw. Just draw the schematic of the hand here. Alright, so we can do this again. Whoops. Got this cephalic side coming up. Bifurcates off, goes down to the thumb. And they meet kind of in the middle. Former side. Then we know each one's got a vein on each side. We know that each one has a loop below the knuckle. Now it's just remembering that they all plug into this one and this one. How do they do that? There, there, there. I mean, that's basically the schematic of it. All right, let's go from that schematic to a more advanced one, which is this. Now I'm going to omit a number of these a lot of this detail because it's just going to get me lost. So again, we're gonna too heavy. I'm gonna go into the paddle shape of this hand here. Something around there. Get these fingers in here. This is a little lower. Too much pinky. There we've got the hand. Now he's got some rendering put in. We'll put a little bit of this rendering in. Why not? So we've got the I forget the name of this tendon or this fascia that comes over the top of the hand here, over the wrist. We'll draw that in. We've got, you know, he gave this hand a shade side here, Coming down to the thumb here. He's drawing a lot of the fascia that you see on the hand. This would be the dorsal interosseous muscle here. He's got all of that in shadow. Kind of got some shadow coming up here, then in between the knuckles here, in between the tendons of the flexor carpi digitorum muscle. It goes to these three fingers here. This is the flexor digiti minimi muscle right there. Put some indication of the extensor. I don't think that was flexor digiti minimi. I think it's extensor digiti minimi. Extensor carpi digitorum, kind of indicating where the tendons of that are. Pallicus brevis and pallicus longus are in there. And that's a pretty decent schematic right there. It's good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Now let's do these veins. And the main ones that we want to focus on are the big veins. So we've got this one here, which was the, don't remember, cephalic and basilic, I think. Cephalic and basilic. And we know it comes up to the finger, and then it had a branch that broke off into the thumb here, and there's another branch that broke off the thumb over here. See if we can remember that. Oops. Where is it? Okay. So it's also hard because it's upside down, but it's somewhere like that, I think. I don't remember, man. Okay, well, this was important, is that it came up and it up to here, kind of. Down. Here's the basilic part of it coming back. So just kind of trying to remember this shape here. And then we know that it's going to come up each side of the finger. And we know that we have a vein coming up each side of the finger. And we know that it wraps below the knuckle on each finger. Okay. And then all these ones plug into this side. So these come together here. These come together there. And then we have one that comes down and plugs in there. I mean, that's the main kind of stuff that I want to remember. It's interesting, in this diagram, there's one that's comes through like that. Which ones you see on people will vary a little bit, I think, but all right, that's it for that one. Let's do the Bridgman one now. So for Bridgman's, I understand now what, I hate that. I understand what this is and this is. And he's got a little bit of foreshortening there. I don't really like this one that much. It's not very clear. I kind of see where it is, but I don't see these vein shapes. They don't look quite like the diagram we were looking at. So let's see here. There's a lot of detail on this hand, actually. I'm going to have to break things down here a little bit better. There, there. Wedges in, wedges out. Comes back down. Classic Bridgman. Got some knuckle action in here. Pat of the finger there. More knuckle right there. I brought my pad of the finger out a little too much, so let's just kind of taper that in better. He does not finish drawing the hand. He just stops the thumb there from happening. There's a shape here that I can see here that he's indicating it with his. Almost like a ramp comes down this knuckle here. And we'll get into the vascular part of this in a minute. Got this here. Not sure what all this is in here, but this hand looks like an old withered hand, I tell you that. It's like super wrinkly. It's got a million rendering marks on it. It's kind of there. Kind of picks it up again over here. And then he's got this would be the ulnar bone there. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of what Bridgman has in there. Then he's drawing the vascular. This would be the basilar side. Coming in. And he shows it on the surface anatomy here. Coming up like this. There's that one. Then he's got this branch coming over here, connecting in there somewhere. And I think if we were to look at hands, like at hands with the, and look at the veins, like from what we can see, you'd see that it's going to be a little different on each hand. The placement of these veins, it's not going to be exact on every person. These are smaller veins. I don't know that they're as important. It's a little bit too high. Let's fix that here. There's this pad here. There's that. That's pretty good. I'll stop there with that one. Let's draw. I haven't done these hands, so let's go back to where we left off last time. So it's here. Yesterday I did these drawings. We can work this one if we want. There's really no opportunity though to implement our veins. Let's look at this. And here we'll do this one. There's an opportunity there to implement the veins. So draw it right here. I'm going to do this drawing. Okay. Thought I lost my screen for a minute. Again, just want to see the paddle of this thing. Just give the drawing a trajectory. That line's going there. This is kind of interesting because it's like a ramp. A ramp. Bring that out more. There. There. There we go. Let's see what we can get here. This is a strange angle for me. More there. We have more overlap happening here. So let's see. Let's see here. I'm gonna go over my lines a little bit here. I can fix it up a little bit here. There. Let's switch this here. Is more pointy. That wraps through. Coming over. That one. Really a weird hand in some ways. Now that I'm looking at it, it's like so many different angles, very stylized and angular. Maybe it's just because of after drawing those anatomical ones. Ramps down. There. That's pretty cool. Now, if we were looking at the veins on this thing, we know there's one coming up there, and we know there's one coming here. They would meet somewhere around here. And then comes up to there. Yeah, I can't remember the rest of it. Let's pull up this diagram. So we pull up this diagram here. Branch coming off into this one, into that one. And this branches off to both sides. Goes something like that. So it actually go more around the knuckle there and then around there. And I'm going to just color in these veins blue so I know what's what. Even if I just remember some of these major forms of the veins here, all I'm really going to need to be able to make this work, be able to use this by drawing. All right, that's enough of that. Let's stop with the drawing studies, studying the veins of the hand. We'll work on more on this Bridgman stuff tomorrow. Got to get on working on the comic book now. Where I left off on the comic book was this page is flatted and ready to go. but this panel is missing stuff, and so we'll call this the accessories. We'll go to the felt pen, and some of the stuff that we need. One, we need the hose that's going to be coming out of Baby Monkey's head. Need that to be visible there. This is going to be the canister that goes on Baby Monkey's back. So let's fix this all up. All of a sudden, I'm not drawing that well. All right, now we'll do better, and we'll get this hose kind of going in there. There we go. Show some like kind of bubbles and stuff moving through it. It's a backpack, so we'll show some straps here. Coming through like that. Coming through here. And we'll do a strap over here. And put some kind of, not that. I'll put some kind of rendering here describing the form of this. Okay, so that's good. So we have that there. There's arm components that are going to go on. Put one here. It's these arm components here. And we'll put one here. Move this a little bit. From our key tool to the lasso. Get this drawn in a little better here. No. No, it doesn't look good. It's got to these have to hook on. They hook onto the canister, so this one can't go here. Let's redo this. Let's start with the hoses and see where it goes. So we have a hose coming out here, but it's longer. It's going to be much, much longer than that. So let's do something like this, maybe. It's more like it. There we go. So that's his IV piece here. And bubbles. All right. There we go. So there's one right there. Maybe get more there. Take that off. Take that off. All right, that's pretty good. And then got to draw the one that's coming off of here. So we've got to put in an exit port for it. Do this one this way, actually. I want this going at a different angle than that one. It needs to be angled in this way. Maybe a better composition. Since I'm on the eraser, I'll take off this strap here. So I've got the hose. We'll get some bubbles in here, and then I'll go somewhere around there. Let's fix that up. And these are the straps that he needs to strap it onto his arms. Okay, so now we've got the whole apparatus set up here. Now I'll go to that one next. Let's finish this off with some line weights. Opacity needs to be moved back up. All right, this is starting to get a little bit better here. Okay, that's good. Let's get flat this in, and I'll just go with a gray. There we go. Now it looks a little bit better. We've got some idea of how this apparatus is hooked into the baby monkey gear. All right, so this piece of equipment is almost complete. This is the system by which the anti-zombie serum is going to be delivered to baby monkey, and that's going to keep him from killing everybody. I hate those little contextual task bars that pop up. They annoy me to no end. Maybe I'm gonna just pin this. Wonder if it'll be easier than trying to outline and fill, because I feel like I'm trying to walk a tightrope trying to fill this in. All I want to do is just flat it down so that we can select it and color it later. All right, that's pretty cool. Got that all set up now in the scene. Now on this one here, that's it for P1, but on panel 2, you'll notice that he's missing his IVs. So right here are the IVs. Deliver this zombie serum, anti-zombie serum into him. Let's get those put in. So, really not much to it. It's just going to be a thing like that. There. put some rendering on it, I could. Let's go a little smaller here. Okay. We'll just erase off the stuff that we just covered. Let's leave it there. Flatten the new material. And that's basically it. That's all he needs to show that he's got his IVs on him. All right. Might as well drop in an area for the background here. I think I may drop some buildings in later on. But for now, this is a good placeholder basically for background. All right, that's pretty good. I could make the horizon lines line up, but they actually wouldn't. In fact, I would make this come down further. Put it there. Better. All right, I'm gonna call this page done. We'll put some buildings in these backgrounds later. And this background with all these guys, we need to have buildings back here too. So I'll do that another time. Saved. All right, here we go. This is the next page. Got a lot of things, a lot of characters here. Let's start drawing it in. I gotta go wake some people up. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna start drawing this page here. All right, let's get this thing going. Let's see here. Well, we'll start with the easy stuff here. Let's get this guy in. So, this Jugman. go. No. There we go. That part right there. There we go. This is going to be a tough fist to draw. Hold on a minute. This guy only has 3 fingers. More like that. There we go. Not bad. Take it. Just drawing things that need to be drawn. Doesn't have shoes. Whoops. Basically it for that. This character is a easy character to do. Let's fix that a little bit here. No. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Maybe not. It needs to just be more of a that. But we'll make it a little bigger. Something like that. Yeah, bring that in a little bit more. When it comes to this, oh, I don't know. I feel like this is just all wrong. It's kind of more there. Keep changing my mind about it because I'm like, it doesn't look like he's standing on the ground. All right, that's closer to it. Or there. There we go. It's gonna be that. I don't know why I can't draw this freaking foot. What the hell is going on here? It's like, okay, we're looking down. It's gonna go like that. But I kind of want it to go. It's just that. That's all it is. It's just that. You're not gonna see anything more. That's what's bothering me about it. I keep wanting to show more. There's not more to show. Okay. What about his other hand? It's going to be going off the page. That. What that pen looks like. That. Pretty much it. I'm gonna stop there for that one. So let's let's label this I'm gonna kind of do this one as I go. All right, that's good for that character. So we've got the Jugman guy there. The next one we're gonna draw will be um Gorilla. So let's do the Gorilla. Hmm. Remember, there's the upper, the middle, and the lower trapezius. I'm kind of gonna work on indicating all of that. No, I mean it's kind of more angular like that. That looks more interesting. You've got the sacral bone here, the dimples of it there, something like that, but you're not going to see it all, so fix that later. This is a big, thick muscle here. Uh, hmm. There we go. Something like that. We go something here and here. Thumb coming out like that. Look on this, get it a little bit more in shadow. All right, that's cool. Get the glutes, the buttocks in here on this guy. There we go. Legs coming through here. A little bit of fur indication there. And I'm going to draw the whole foot here, the whole leg here. And for the gorilla foot, you just kind of, it's not too hard. You just put some fur, indicate some fur. Even with the butt, we don't need that much. Even there's fine. You know. Similar problem as the Jugman drawing where I've got this foot foreshortened moving away from me. It's harder to draw. Something like that. That's enough. There we go. There's the other foot. Keep it simple at all times. All right, so we've got the gorilla dropped in. I don't know, would you see his other fist over here? Let's draw through it really quick and see what we'd find. We'd have shoulder here. This would be coming off there. Fist would, this other fist would be around there. Really wouldn't. I mean, if you saw anything, it would be that. So I'll put it in though, because it kind of looks more. There we go. We'll just do that. That's enough. Let's knock this background down even more. It's not interfering so much. And let's get the outline on this thing. And then I'm going to outline this gorilla's body. And then drop in some of the detail stuff. All right. Trying to keep some forward progress going on this drawing, trying to keep momentum happening. That's the key, is forward progress, forward progress, forward progress. But it's not easy to keep that going all the time when I'm drawing. Redo this. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's go with the G pen. Let's just kind of drop in some of the shadows and everything now. All right, that's pretty cool. We got a pretty cool looking gorilla in here. That one's done. Let's label that one line art gorilla. I finally feel warmed up. I can keep going. It's funny. I feel like more comfortable drawing a gorilla than drawing this stupid jug looking guy, Jug Man. All right, so we've got many more characters to draw. It's 8 a.m. Stream's been going for an hour 24. What do you think? Should I draw one more guy? Maybe I should. These things take so long to draw. Let's do, whoops. Let's do one more. The gorilla's in there. I don't want to do rocking. That will take a long time. Let's just drop in evil robot. That won't take that long. He's a simple character to draw. Turn off gorilla. Go down here and we'll draw the little robot character. We'll go back to the felt pen. Mark down the size. And let's fix this. Not quite. I don't like that arm. That's better. Nope. Those feet are giant. Okay, we'll just knock them down slightly. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get the silhouette on him, and then we'll render up a little bit of details. I'm bringing these feet in even more on the final silhouette shape here. Let's fix that. This little robot, he pretty much can transform into almost anything. And so because of that, he's one of actually the most powerful characters in the comic, but you would never know it. He seems so unassuming because he's just a little retro style looking robot character, but the reality is he's actually a pretty strong little guy. I wonder if instead of that smile there, we went excuse me. There we go. Just do that. All right. So we've got the robots finished. And we've got the gorilla. Not bad. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Get the gorilla in there. Just gonna do these as I go this time so I don't have to spend a whole day suffering. Get some of this going here. No reason to have them overlap right now. I'll just put them right there. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'll be back tomorrow, make more progress. Hopefully, I'll be a little bit more active, a little more talkative by then. Still just getting back into the groove. Until then,